Hey everybody, it's Jim Johnson. Welcome back to my channel. I am the project manager and line editor for the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game and the Captain's Log solo RPG, both published by Modiphius Entertainment. And hey, it's September 8th. It's Star Trek Day. Woohoo! Congratulations, Star Trek. Happy anniversary. Another year. What, 56, 57 years strong now. Fantastic. Super cool. And I am super excited for Star Trek Day and all the great activities that are happening today all across the franchise. And the fact that we've got 2 new episodes of Lower Decks to enjoy just the other day, yesterday in fact. And I'm also really excited to announce a new product that we're releasing today in support of Star Trek Day and also the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, the animated series, the original animated series, before there was Lower Decks, before there were comic books and cartoons and so forth. There was the animated series back in 1974. 22 episodes of Star Trek came out in an animated format. It was, animated on Saturday mornings, intended for kids, but the subject matter was a little bit more adult than most of the kids' shows on at the time. And I am really proud to be able to get this product out the door and into your hands, hopefully. So it's available on the Modiphius web stores. It's on DriveThruRPG, etc., wherever you buy PDFs for games and for Star Trek Adventures. So I wanted to do just, first I wanted to say, hey, happy Star Trek Day for those who celebrate. This is such a great time to be a Star Trek fan right now. There's just so much great Star Trek going on right now, whether it's on television or in book format, in games, especially games. I mean, we got so many great Star Trek games now, not just Star Trek Adventures, but we've got, all the different board games, Star Trek Ascendancy, Timelines. What's the one that just came out on the consoles? Resurgence? Star Trek is it Resurgence? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, just lots of stuff going on in Star Trek world in the universe right now. I've got plenty of other videos that I want to do here pretty soon, but calling this one Happy Star Trek Day, and also just do a quick page through this just to combine the videos, make it easy. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this animated series product. It's a 69-page product. It's packed full of goodies pulled right out of the animated series that you can just drop into your Star Trek Adventures campaigns, or you can use it as inspiration and material for a Captain's Log game. If you wanted to run a Captain's Log story, but in that kind of like animated mindset where things are really different and even more amazing and inventive and creative than what you see on screen, because of course the animated series and Lower Decks, of course, can do things visually that you just can't practically do in live action, even with modern technology and modern CGI effects and stuff being what they are. There's still things that are hard to realize with computer graphics that you can get away with in animation, and I think we saw that to some extent if you've watched the 2 new episodes of Lower Decks that just aired yesterday on September 7th. There's some stuff in there that you just can't really practically do in live action. So animated series, I think this would be a great supplemental guide to pair up with your Star Trek Adventures core books, or your Captain's Log solo RPG book, whether you got them in PDF or print. So that being said, let's just jump into it here. So of course the animated series, we have a lot of great art in here, all pulled from the animated series, and also a lot of original art. I had an opportunity to reach out to Aaron Harvey, who is a professional graphics designer, but he's also a writer, and he co-wrote the, or is it on my shelf here? He co-wrote the official animated guide to the official guide to the animated series. Aaron wrote that in cooperation with Rich Shepis. Apologies for the pronunciation on that, but Rich Shepish and Aaron collaborated on that book, and it's a fantastic book. If you love the animated series or you're curious about the animated series, go get yourself a copy of that, because it's a fantastic read, so full of love for Star Trek and for Star Trek the animated series. So I got Aaron on board to do a lot of the lead writing on this product. Also 2 STA veterans, Fred Love and Aaron Pollier, both contributed a lot of content as well. I did a little bit, but it's not about me, it's about them and about the animated series product. So we'll go to the table of contents here. Hopefully you can see that. It might be a little hard to read on the screen, but, go grab a copy. Pink tribbles. Lots of pink tribbles, of course. That's one of the standout features of the animated series, is somehow, some way, the tribbles ended up being pink. Very, very pink. So, of course, we had to include the pink tribbles in the animated series. You can see here at a glance, we have player character sheets for all the main characters. This is just like our crew packs that you know and love from the line that we've done for all the other series, including the original Star Trek series. We included the newcomers, Lieutenant Erix and Lieutenant Mres. They are the Edosian and the Cation, respectively. So we've included them. We have a bunch of additional NPCs. We have some of the worlds that are featured in the animated series we highlighted, so you can drop those into your campaign if you want to. We included 5 new playable character species in the book. I'll flip to those in a second. So there's 5 brand new character species that you can play. Plus we reprinted the 3 that were in the Alpha Quadrant source book, just to make it convenient to have them all the animated stuff in one place. So the Edosians, the Cations, and the Aurelians we included in this as well, just to make sure that we were covering the totality of the animated series product material to date. Some new equipment is in here. So the animated series, again, because it was getting creative and getting ambitious with things that you can do in animation that you can't do in live action, had a lot of different gear and material that we wanted to include in here as options for you to play with. We include some discussions about some of the wacky science and spatial phenomenon that you see in the in the series, as well as a bunch of starships, some space frames, a bunch of different allies and adversaries that you can use as NPCs, including Cyrano Jones, Robert April, Spock 2, the giant Spock, who may or may not have met an untimely demise by the time of Lower Decks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Lower Decks. A few other ones, and then a whole bunch of creatures. The animated series, again, this is the advantage of animation over live action in a lot of ways, is that you can come up with really amazing, interesting creatures and throw them at your player characters in your games, or just use them as adversaries or challenges in Captain's Log. But that's just something that animation can do. So let's just flip through this here real quick. Introduction by Aaron. I encourage you to read that. He just loves Star Trek and Star Trek the Animated Series. Packed all that love into this forward and also into the book itself. So go check that out. We got the different characters, like I said, Kirk, Spock. You can see they all have the animation art. This is all brand new art that Aaron designed for the 50th anniversary. So you'll see this art probably with other licensees, but we were able to get most of it in here as well. So a lot of new art here. There's Erix, there's Mres. We got a bunch of additional NPCs pulled right from the series. We're using screen caps from the series in some cases, as well as original art. So check all that out. Some of the different worlds that we highlight, and then we've got the new playable character species options. We've got Aquans, Aurelians, of course, Cations, Edosians, Kzinti, for those of you who are curious, Pandronians, especially for those of you who have been watching Lower Decks. There's a Pandronian character who made a key appearance in one of the episodes, and we thought, absolutely, we've got to find a way to get those in here. So Pandronians and then Philosians. So if you want to be a big old plant alien, go for it. Let's do it. And I think pairing up these 5 new species along with the 8 new species that were in Lower Decks, that's 13 really, really, really different and diverse alien species that you can now add to your games, just to provide a wealth of more options and diversity and equity and inclusion and all that great stuff into your campaigns. So I can't wait to hear what people do with all that stuff. So check those out as you have time and interest. A bunch of different equipment, a bunch of different spatial phenomena that you can drop into your game. A bunch of different starships, spaceships, and space frames. It's just a mix of different stuff in here that you can make use of if you want to. There's Kukulkan's starship, which was in a great episode. It's an Orion ship, a bunch of different NPCs. There's Giant Spock, as we alluded to earlier. Where did he go? There you go, Giant Spock. Great episode, Giant Spock. Got to have fun with that. And then a bunch of different creatures. Again, lots of pink tribbles. We had to get those pink tribbles in here. And then the Glommer, which for those of you who've bought the Klingon Core rulebook, you'll recognize the Glommer from there. But again, because that's an animated series, a unique creature, we wanted to make sure that we included it here as well. And then just a few other creatures, index, usual, etc., etc. So let me get back to the first page there. So that is the quick preview of the animated series supplement, now available for purchase on our web stores and on DTRPG, so go check that out. And I'll be back with other videos here in the coming days and weeks. But just for now, happy Star Trek Day, everybody. Star Trek means the world to me. It's been an important part of my life for my entire life, for as long as I can remember. And I am grateful and humbled to be in a position where I can share that love with so many people through this game. And you'll see a lot more products coming up here in the coming months and years, supporting Star Trek Adventures. And I just can't wait to get that stuff out there. And I hope that you'll stay along for the ride and hope you're enjoying it. So anyway, happy Star Trek Day, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'm sure we'll talk again real soon. Cheers.